is difficult for the Prime Minister, but surely what is much more difficult is that full-throated row that just took place in the Oval Office, which makes him, the kind of designated survivor of diplomacy who needs to walk the tightrope.
Well, I think that does mean now present a new challenge to Keir Starmer and other European leaders that at the weekend, when Keir Starmer hosts this meeting in London and Zelensky is going to be there, that Europe stands up. Because what we saw today was the consequence of America electing somebody who portrays himself as this great deal maker, with a vice president who is a vile human being that we saw today, and who taken it into the Oval Office, bring in the press, and deliberately, in my view, seek to humiliate, intimidate, and try to bully one of the bravest men on the planet. I found the whole thing utterly disgusting. And I know that in diplomacy, leaders have to, be nice to each other and so forth. But I think Europe has to understand, as Friedrich Merz said recently, America is not a reliable ally. Zelensky, whose country has been invaded and had to put up with the abuse of those two thugs today, and yet whenever Vladimir Putin's name came up, not a word, not a whisper. He's a friend of mine. I trust him. He's honest.
Okay, but that thug, or one of those thugs, as you call them, has just been invited to Windsor Castle by the King. We saw that whole scene yesterday. What does Starmer do now with this sort of relationship? Puts him in a very uncomfortable position, surely.
Well, it does, but I think that we've seen this coming. And the fact is that the one person who's laughing his head off tonight is Vladimir Putin. Keir Starmer and the other European leaders have got to understand that this is now a real crisis for Europe and for the Western world. And they have to stand by Zelensky. They have to keep pressing for Europe to be involved in any deal. And by the way, Matt, the big mistake was Trump thinking that it was man-to-man, I'm the deal maker, I'll pick up the phone and call Vladimir. Putin has played him like a fiddle. And he sits there, this man-child, pretending he's the great deal maker. Putin has run rings around him. And as a result, virtually the entire diplomatic world tonight is in reeling.
Alastair Campbell, not holding back, thank you very much indeed for coming on the programme.